having trouble staying plant-based or raw, living with people who don't want to eat the way you eat? Welcome back for another video to recalibrate with Raw Natty Nate. You guys, I just wanted to make this video for you on my way to work. I am driving, as you can tell, so I may be looking all over the place and not really looking at you. Anyways, I just wanted to make this video talking about how tricky it can be when we want to eat a different way than our family, friends, and loved ones, and our children, our spouses, you know, all the people in our lives. When all of these individuals don't see through the same lenses that we're seeing through now, let's just grab these lenses to make kind of a fun little analogy. So let's just say that this pair of lenses is the old way of thinking. This is the old mindset. The mindset being that you have to have animals and their secretions in your diet to live a healthy life. And all of a sudden you start to kind of like take those off a little bit and start peeking around out there a little bit, looking for some different information. And, you know, every once in a while you put them back on because you're like, I don't want to listen to this stuff. I don't want to see different information. I want to stick with the way that it's always been done. I want to stick with the way that I know our ancestors ate. Well, how do we really know what our ancestors ate? We actually have no... When I do that, that means I'm swearing. We have no way of knowing what they actually ate. We realistically don't. Maybe we could date back 100 or so years, but after that, like, do we really know? No. The recordings and stuff aren't necessarily even there. I would like to imagine what we were eating was predominantly a very plant-rich lifestyle, having very, very little animal products in our lives. I don't necessarily like to think that we were eating as much animal and processed foods as we are now. I mean, hands down, we weren't. We didn't have the facilities processing all the cereals and breads and crackers and pastas and beef jerky and packaged cheese and yogurts that we are nowadays. I mean, it is incredible. It's really thick out there. So anyways, let's just say you start peeking around out there. You're like, oh, what's actually happening out there? Wow, look at the doctors are saying this, and scientists are showing these studies, and people reversing diseases and heart disease and cancer, all by switching the way that they think and getting out of their own way by means of taking away all of the funk that they've been eating their whole entire life. Now, of course, if you go from a total crappy diet, like just hands down the SAD diet, the standard American diet or standard Western diet, and you start eating more fresh fruits and vegetables, and you still have a little bit of meat and cheese in your diet, but you cut out like processed sugar. You're not stopping and grabbing pastries in the morning and coffee, and you're really striving to do better. You're gonna feel better. Hands down, you're gonna feel better. You can try it out for yourself. But let's just say you're like, you know what? I've seen this documentary and it has really changed the way that I think about things, and I want to try something different. And all of your rest of your family still have those old glasses on. They're like, no way, man, you're tripping. You're straight tripping. You're going to get sick. You're going to find yourself sick and dying, deficiencies. It's an incomplete diet. You have to eat the way that we've always ate. And sometimes in life we have a hard time doing things differently, right? Because it's been done a certain way for so long. And there's a lot of really cool analogies like, oh, well, we used to have slaves and that was just kind of what we did. Or, you know, we used to, you know, whatever. I mean, you name it. Like, there's all kinds of things that we did, and we did it for so long, and we found like, hey, maybe we should switch it up. Well, we're at this point in time where we're thinking like, maybe we should switch it up. We're finding that eating an animal-based diet is not sustainable for this planet. We're going to be really effing it up here pretty soon if we continue on with this way of life. And there's people who have been living predominantly plant-based or completely plant-based or even raw, like no cooked foods, all plants, for 50 years. The guy that I that inspired me to go raw was a raw foodie for 44 years, you guys, and he was skiing at 86 years old. He reversed his colorectal cancer at the age of 42 by going raw. Now, some athletes don't want to let people know that they're vegan. Vegan being that they have the ethical connection of what's happening to the environment and what's happening to these animals, and they don't want to be a part of it. They don't want to vote for that anymore. So they go predominantly plant-based or completely plant-based, and their game starts changing. Little food for thought, check out the Game Changers if you haven't seen Game Changers yet. That'll definitely change the game in your mind if you have an open heart and an open mind to look at things a little differently. So anyways, some of these athletes don't even want to let people know that they're plant-based or vegan because they don't want to lose their edge on the competition. And that's truth. I have a couple of friends that are pro athletes in their field, cyclists, and they don't want people to know that they are vegan because they don't want people adopting the same lifestyle as them because they're beating people. they're winning the trophies, right? Anyways, getting off topic here. So let's just say that you are eating predominantly plant, or you have switched your mindset. You've took off the glasses. You're like, you know what? I'm actually going to try something different. I'm taking these off and I'm going to put on my plant-based glasses. And these are the new plant-based glasses. And this is the way that you're viewing the world nowadays. You're thinking, yeah, I see the studies out there. This makes sense. This resonates with me. I'm going to adopt this lifestyle. I'm going to give it a try. 100%, I'm going to do my best. But then again, your family and your loved ones are thinking that you're crazy and they don't want to eat like you. They're not going to switch it up. They're like, man, you're tripping. You're going to want to eat cheese and meat, or you don't want to eat cheese and meat, you're going to die. And you're thinking, hey, yo, check it out. I've got this new perspective that I'm seeing. I'm seeing things differently now because I'm resonating with the studies, or I'm resonating with someone that I met that has been living this way for 30 plus, 40 plus, even 50 plus years. They're not dead. They actually have more energy, look a little better than, say, Uncle Bob. Uncle Bob's been eating the same way, and I don't want to be like Uncle Bob. I'm going to be a little different. And let's just say that you're a spouse to someone who does not want to put these glasses on. They're like, man, I don't even want to look through your glasses. You're like, no, check it out. Just take a look through my glasses. And they're like, no, I'm keeping these ones on, man. I don't even want to look through there. What do? What do you do when you have loved ones and friends and family and your children who are not wanting to even look, not even take a peep through the new glasses? I tell you what you do. This is what I did. You stay strong with what resonates with you. If what's resonating with you is the messages that are being shouted from other individuals that are making sense, doctors, scientists, the studies, testimonials from other individuals, that's enough fuel to stay strong with the way that you want to live. And if you want to live predominantly plant-based, or even completely plant-based, or say raw, like uncooked, no cooked foods, stay strong. Be different. It's tricky because people don't want to change. People don't want to see that there's a different way to do things that they've been doing, a different way to do things that's been done forever. We don't want to look at it. And that's how it is a lot of times. My kid, 11 years old at the time, went vegan because my mom reversed her kidney cancer going raw. And I was plant-based with my son. I'm like, well, if you're going to eat plant-based, vegan, if you're going to be vegan, I'll be vegan with you because why not? Like, you're 11. I want to make sure you're eating properly. Like, there's vegan doesn't mean health food. Whole foods, plant-based, whole different concept as to vegan. Vegan means you have an ethical connection with the animals and you do not want to sponsor the death and destruction of what's going on to these animals. That's vegan. You're not going to wear leather. You're not going to buy socks with wool in them. You're not going to buy jackets with down in them. When you start researching into these these companies that are making these products and how it's actually processed, if you've got an open heart and an open mind, you're thinking there's got to be a different way. We are smart individuals, and we're living in 2020 now, y'all. Like, we can do things a little different. We don't have to buy down jackets to stay warm. I mean, hands down is warm, very warm. But we don't have to live that way. So we stop voting for those things. We don't buy leather belts. We don't buy fur jackets. That's vegan. Vegan is different. That's an ethical stance. That's a belief system. You know, some could call it a religion. Whatever you want to call it, it's an ethical stance that you're not going to vote for what's actually going down. But now living plant-based, whole foods, that's a healthy lifestyle. I'm vegan. I'm vegan for my health. I'm vegan for the environment. I'm vegan for the animals. And I don't like to ingest anything besides raw foods because of watching what happened with my mom reverse her kidney cancer, and skiing with John, who was 86. He's 89 this year. Reversed his colorectal cancer at the age of 42. But when I met him, he was raw. He'd been raw for 44 years. That was enough for me. I was like, let me see your glasses, John. Whoa, okay. I see now. I see there's a different way to roll. And it's living proof. He's living proof right next to me. I'm looking at him like, dude, you're 86. Holy beep. You know, so I went home. I researched more on how to go raw. How can I make it taste good? You know, because I was just the same as everybody else. Like, oh, vegans, man. Yeah, whatever. Vegetarian. What a bunch of bull. I used to fish. I went hunting. I skinned animals. I raised rabbits because those are the glasses I had, man. I had these glasses on, these ones, where I was like, this is how we have to live forever. This is the way it's been done forever. This is how it has to be done. But as I'm looking around out there, peeking out like, wow, there's some people that are super unhealthy, and they're, you know, they're eating a lot of whole foods and a lot of animal-rich products, you know, lots of cheese and lots of meat, drinking, staying asleep, basically is the way I picture it. I didn't want to be like that, man. So watching what I had seen with my mom and meeting John, I was like, I'm going raw, 100%. I don't want to eat cooked foods. It makes sense to me. Living foods. John, who reversed his colorectal cancer at the age of 42, and he was skiing at 86, he had been living on sprouted foods, raw living foods for 44 years, you guys. Now, he's not on social media. He's not pumping his story out there, like exchanging his information. He's old school, man. He didn't have a phone, like a smartphone, to be able to share on social media. He didn't have a YouTube channel. But this is an individual that really affected me, man, because he took off his goggles and was like, you should listen to your mom, Nate. Because I had told my mom, Mom, when you find the cure, which I know you will because she had the mindset, I'm already cured. I just have to do the work. And that's the mindset we have to heal ourselves. Our mind is powerful. I knew that she was going to heal herself, and I said I was going to follow her. And John, pierced through me with his taking off his goggles, telling me I should listen to my mom. It was like I was talking to myself from my future self. That's the way I pictured it. I went home, I found Lissa, Raw Food Romance, and it made sense to me. Raw Food Romance. She has created a love affair with her food, a connection with her food so much deeper than the majority of us have. I didn't have a connection with my food. I'm eating chicken on a stick dipped in barbecue sauce when I go on a adventure bike ride or dirt bike ride. I'm packing Red Bulls everywhere I go because I need energy. I'm sipping on coffee throughout the day because I need energy, because my body was working so hard to process all the junk I've been putting in, right? Now, sure, I went fishing. I would smoke salmon, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm eating good, man. You know, I got steamed asparagus and some sweet potatoes and some salmon. That's a pretty balanced meal, right? Well, I had to put my butter and salt and different seasonings on the stuff to make it really taste good. And I'm thinking, I want something different. I got those different glasses on. I got the plant-based glasses on now. So what did I have to do to stay plant-based? My kid's plant-based. I'm staying strong for him, staying strong for myself. My spouse at the time, she didn't want to go plant-based. She was just like the majority of us, did not want to take those other glasses off, man. She didn't want to look through any different lens. She's like, I'm keeping these ones on. I don't want to see your research. I don't want to hear it. Ignorance is bliss. I'm like, all right, cool. So what I have to do? I'm going off on a tangent because I'm driving, you guys. I had to just stay strong. I had to do what I had to do for myself. And what that was keep investing in myself and keep putting knowledge in from other people who are sharing their knowledge, from people who I resonated with. We don't always resonate with everybody in our niche or niche, right? There was people that I resonated with and I was like, this is cool. I'm going to take that tidbit of information. All of this makes sense. The more raw plant foods that we incorporate into our life, the better. So, back to the very beginning. Let's just say now that you're that individual who has the new pair of lenses on and you're like, this is the way I view the world, and my husband or my wife doesn't see it the same, my kids don't see the same. Strive to stay strong. Set the example. Years fly by. I mean, they fly by. I've always been told that as a kid, how fast time goes, and I never really wanted to picture how fast it goes. It goes by fast. So stay strong, stay true to yourself, true to your new core beliefs, and keep yourself on that path. If that's the path that is resonating with you, keep on that path. And what I did was, at the time, I'm cooked plant-based, cooked vegan. We'd make burritos. My wife, my ex-wife, we're not married now. I'm married to Lissa from Raw Food Romance. I got our whole love story on YouTube if you guys want to check it out, how we met and all the stuff. It's kind of a whole different tangent. We don't want to get on that. But anyways, my ex-wife at the time did not want to eat the way I was eating. So we would cook chicken for her, and I would cook my meat substitute in a different dish. Tempeh, maybe I would do a tofu scramble, because tofu is kind of like eggs in a lot of way. She would have her eggs and her cheese and her sour cream. I would have sour cream and cheese as well, but they were plant-based, non-dairy. And I'm going to do a little video this weekend on how to go shopping as a vegan, as a whole food plant-based, and a vegan, and raw. We're going to incorporate it all. How to shop as raw, how to shop for whole foods, plant-based, and how to shop for vegan. Because vegan doesn't mean health food. Vegan, French fries are vegan, beer's vegan, chips, cookies. There's a lot of junk food out there that's vegan. There's no animal products in it. Doesn't mean it's healthy, but it means that you don't want to vote for ingesting animal products and their byproducts anymore, so you go vegan. But if you're plant-based and your family doesn't want to go plant-based, and you're finding yourself cooking two separate meals, like I said, try to incorporate. When we would do the burritos, I would make I would cook the chicken, and I'd have separate bowl of cheese, separate sour cream from my ex-wife, and she would have her own burrito made like that. Most of the stuff that I was ingesting was plant-based. You got the tortilla, the guacamole, the salsa, the lettuce, the tomato, all these different things that we may put in our burrito. And I just wouldn't put the cheese, the sour cream, or the chicken, or the, beef or whatever in my, and I was seeing it through a different pair of lenses. I was like, I'm not going to put the dead bird in my burrito. I'm not going to put the, shredded up cow in my burrito, because I got a different pair of lenses on, you guys. I got a pair of vegan lenses on. These are animals. These are breathing, living beings that were force bred and breeded for us to eat. That's ridiculous. It wasn't resonate with me anymore. I had a different pair of glasses on. I'm seeing the world through a whole different pair of lenses now. Do I want to put these old lenses on for a minute? No, man, because I have been wearing these lenses, the plant or the animal-based lenses, my whole life. It's time to do something different. Shred those ones off. Got a new pair of lenses on, different perspective. These ones are actually the raw, uncooked lenses that I see the world through now. I don't like to eat cooked food because it all basically, that's a whole different topic. I'm getting off on a mad tangent, so I apologize, you guys. If you've made it this far, thanks for sticking with me. I just figured I would film a video while I'm driving. I'm like, why don't I film while I drive? It's like I'm talking to somebody next to me or something. So back to the point, which is if your family doesn't want to eat like you, stay strong with what you believe. And if you find yourself having to make 2 different meals, then more power to you. You're a really strong individual because you're thinking of yourself. You're wanting better for yourself. You're wanting to be healthy. You're wanting to set a good example for your future self. Your future self will thank you. And you're wanting to set a good example for your spouse, your family, your friends, loved ones, your children by doing something different. It's a lot easier nowadays to go plant-based or vegan than it ever has been. And there's more and more people that are waking up to the fact that, wow, we could actually reformat and redesign this world completely different. A more compassionate world, a more loving world, you know? And not to say that you have to eat meat to be manly. I mean, you see the game changers, like I was mentioning, there's men out there, big burly dudes, man, that are working out, building muscle. Look, it's incredible. There's so much knowledge out there. And what makes us wise is putting that knowledge into practice. Then we gain the wisdom, right? We have the knowledge, we put it into practice, now we have wisdom. There's men out there with wisdom that have been predominantly plant-based or vegan for decades. They're building muscle. Nature knows what's up. Mother Nature designed it perfectly for us to live off of the plants. And there's all kinds of different topics to get into. Oh, plants have feelings. I mean, going vegan, plant-based, you're going to hear all kinds of stuff. You're not going to get enough protein. You're going to be deficient. Well, check it out. If you're eating predominantly plants, especially lots of raw fibrous plants like fruits and leafy greens, you're feeding your good gut bacteria. You're getting fiber. Most people are fiber deficient. Literally chronic constipation. Full of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of people full of shit out there because they're not pooping. Because they're backed up, eating too much funk. Anyways, you guys, stay strong. Keep yourself informed. There's lots of amazing information out there. There's people that dedicate their lives to uncovering different studies and different information to get it out to us so we can wake up. That there's a new lens that we should be looking through to run this world and to run our lives on. We don't have to follow the norms anymore. You know, let's be different. Let's set the example, right? Took my kids' friends 5 years. It's been 5 years that my kid's been vegan, almost 6 years. And finally, some of his homies are going vegan now. 5 years. It took 5 years, you guys. That's a long time. So stay strong. Thanks for listening to me kind of rant and go off. I hope that, for those of you who have stayed this long, that it has made some sense. And if you liked it, give me a thumbs up. Let me know. Give me some feedback. My channel has been up for a while, but I'm really striving to make consistent videos for you guys because I just feel like I should be another voice out there. And I love all you guys' support. Thank you. And hit the like button. That helps the channel out. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell for notifications for new videos. I'm posting daily videos. Hopefully you guys don't get sick of them. I'm not making videos as long as this. I'd like to keep them sort of short and sweet, but there's going to be some long ones in there as well. And you can find me on other social media platforms: Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Raw Natty Nate. Until next time, you guys. Love ya.